Of all the sounds in English, which one would you say is the most powerful in a Utah accent? Is it Z, D, O, M? Well, I've already got my vote placed for one candidate, but before I tell you what sound I think it is, let me share with you a story reported by Mark Juke and Mary Richards in the April 11th, 2008 edition of KSL News. Turns out that a man entered Cafe Trio in Salt Lake City, placed a bag on the counter, and told the cashier, "Fill this bag." Now the cashier thought that she complied with his request when she stretched out her hand and felt the bag. "You've got to be kidding," the would-be robber answered as he fled the restaurant empty-handed. The cashier on her side must have wondered what kind of weirdo gets his jollies by asking random women to fill his bag. The miscommunication demonstrated in that fated exchange is an example of what is known as the feel-fill merger. It happens when the vowel E and the vowel I both get pronounced as I. It makes these pairs of words indistinguishable. The feel-fill merger has a lot of counterparts too. For example, the fail-fell merger, where A and E both get the E pronunciation. The fail-fell merger results in these pairs of words getting the same pronunciation. There are a bunch of other mergers I won't talk about in this episode, such as the pull-poll-pool merger, and the hull-hull merger, and the hull-hole merger. But what do you notice about all these words? What do they have in common? They all end in the L sound. And that's why my vote for the most powerful sound in Utah dialect is L. It's not because Utahns pronounce L in a weird way, but the power that L's have on the vowels that they follow. Vowels before L's tend to lose their distinction, and this happens mainly before L's. So, a person who pronounces both feel and fill as fill would never merge the same vowels anywhere else, say before T sounds. What I mean is they'd never make feet and fit homonyms and say, for example, that my fit hurt because my shoes don't fit. Not going to happen. It has to have an L. So in Diane Lilly's 1997 study, she asked people to pronounce the word sail, and 42% of them pronounced it sail as sell. And she observed that the merger was a lot more common in central Utah, followed by southern Utah, followed in turn by northern Utah. Danny Sarver found more mergers in men in his study, and in people from rural areas of the state. And David Bowie and Wendy Baker Smimo, in their study of Utah County, observed more mergers among members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints compared to those who weren't members of that church. As far as the feel-fill merger is concerned, Lilly elicited the word heel in 1997 and found a big difference in age. 35% of younger speakers pronounced heel, hill, but only 18% of older speakers did. She also found that speakers with a college education gave it the hill pronunciation 44% of the time, but those with only a high school degree did so at a higher rate at 61%. In the Utah English survey, asked people questions like this in writing. How do you pronounce the highlighted part of the word jail? Like the word jade or the word jed? And I didn't get much in the way of groupings by age or part of the state. My results show that it was more of an individual thing. Some people don't distinguish the two vowels and others do. My results may be due to the way I got the data too. Although we need more evidence for these mergers, there are some indications that they are on the rise and that it's the younger residents of the state that merge more. The important thing is that these mergers are one thing that people hone in on and use to judge if a person has a Utah accent. So, the feel-fill mergers and the fail-fell mergers are definitely a trait unique to Utah, right? I hate to break it to you, but no. Other surveys have documented lots of fill merging people in Texas and in the southern U.S. Another survey shows both mergers are scattered all over the U.S. So I wondered if people in other countries sometimes don't distinguish either. So I searched for the term for sell in a huge collection of documents from English speakers in 20 different countries. And in 18 of the 20 countries, I found the expression for sell instead of for sale. In short, Utahns aren't the only one merging these vowels before L sounds. We'll look at some other ways that the powerful L affects vowels in upcoming episodes.